General Luot, nanalo pa ng barangay mayor. Ano, inambos kita, animal ka, buhay pa rin. General mo, pag-aral mo na PMA gastos ng gobyerno. Tapos kayong mga unggoy kayo, sinisira niyong ba? That's why I said, if I was up against government. And so I had to say, ang kalaban ko to, little did I realize that I was up against my own government.
Pumunta ako dito for me to submit myself for investigation. Starting with the Chief PNP and tomorrow with the Secretary DILG. And kung saan at kung sino ang mag-iimbestiga sa akin, nandito po ako, mag-isa, walang abogado. Sa totoo lang, hindi ko narinig ang presidente, may nagsabi lang sa akin, may tumawag lang sa akin. At ang reaction ko po actually tumawa po ako. Kasi sinabi ko na, nung tinawagan ako, sabi ko, wala pa namang kamatayan yung issue na yan, tapos ng eleksyon. Pero nung sinabihan ako na presidente ang nagsabi, parang gumuho yung mundo ko.
So sir, ano ang plano niyo sabihin kay PNP Chief?
I am here willing to be dissected for the truth to come out. Ang in-expect ko lang na mabigyan lang ako ng guidance on what to do. Kasi nga, I am not under the jurisdiction of the PNP and yun namang paratang sa akin during that time siguro na when I was with the PNP. So, ngayon wala na ako sa PNP, hindi ko alam kung paano. Kaya nga bukas, I have an appointment already at 8 o'clock. Inuna ko lang si Bato. Baka sakaling magawa niya ng paraan na personally makausap ko siya, makausap ko ang presidente. At siguro masabi ko man lang sa kanya yung hinanakit ng mga anak ko. Hindi na lang yung side ko. Sana hindi na maulit ito. Kung meron man sa ibang mga general na involved pa dyan, dapat mauna yung investigation at finding the truth bago yung condemnation.
So are you saying this is a trial by publicity or something? Trial by publicity or...
Ito yung nasasabi ko ngayon, we are now being tried by publicity. No? Wala na. Instead na doon sa investigating body ako magsasalita. Dito na ako sa inyo nagmamakaawa na mapakinggan naman yung side namin. At sana naman, bago naman kami makondem, na malaman mo na yung katotohanan. Kung ang sinasabi ay protection, it is very illogical for me to protect on somebody when I am not in the position to protect, because my last assignment for the last 3 years was on admin matters. Director ako ng PNP Training Service, an administrative national support unit involved in training, competency training of our policemen. So, how will I protect a criminal when I am not involved in the campaign against criminals, especially illegal?
Magandang umaga sa lahat. Ang katanungan ko doon muna kay light lang muna. Kay Kerwin, gusto kong itanong kung kilala mo bang personal si Mayor Vicente Luot?
Yes po, Your Honor.
Paano mo siya nakilala?
Sa sabungan, Your Honor.
Nagsasabong ka rin?
Opo, Your Honor.
Parang maalala ko, nabanggit mo si Mayor Vicente Luot nung isa sa mga pahayag mo. Ano pang pagkakilala mo sa kanya? Ano pang connection ninyong dalawa?
Yung pagkakilala namin pagkakilala ko kay General Luot yung panahon na yung first sa sabungan sa Mandawi Coliseum. At saka yung pangalawa, nung nasa jail na ako, through Sir Laraga, about doon sa binibigay ko na SOP po, Your Honor.
SOP, you mean nagbigay ka sa kanya ng pera?
Opo, through Leo Laraga, Your Honor.
Magkano yung pera na binibigay mo?
120,000 a month po, Your Honor.
Paano mo masabi na kay General Mayor Loot yung pera na yon? Paano mo masabi na natanggap niya?
Doon po kay Sir Laraga po, tumawag siya sa akin. Tapos siya daw yung inutusan na magkokolekta sa pera na ibibigay ko na SOP po, Your Honor.
Sabi niya para ito kay Loot.
Yes po, Your Honor.
Ilang beses ka nakapagbigay sa kanya?
Starting nung na-assign siya sa starting po na na-assign siya sa Region 8, late 2011, hanggang nalipat siya sa dito sa Krami.
So maraming beses ka nakapagbigay sa kanya?
Opo, Your Honor.
Mga magkano estimate mo na ibigay sa kanya?
Mga more than a year, Your Honor. So 120,000 po yun. Tapos yung 100 po ang para sa kanya, tapos ang 20,000 po para doon sa bagman niya.
Bagman, you mean si Leo Laraga?
Leo Laraga po, Your Honor.
Okay, isang taon mahigit ito? Every month?
Opo, Your Honor.
Okay, salamat. Mamaya may mga katanungan pa ako. Dito tayo kay Mayor Vicente Loot. Nung time na yun na mayor na po ba kayo o general pa lang?
Hindi ko po masabi kung anong time yung ibig niya sabihin. Pero ang pagkakaalam ko po at pagkakaalam ho ng lahat sa Cebu, ang wife ko po ang may-ari ng sabungan, yung Galliera de Mandawi sa Cebu.
Teka muna, hindi ko muna tinatanong yung sabungan mo o kung ano yung ano. Ang gusto ko lang malaman, general ka pa noon o mayor ka na ba noon o hindi pa? Nung time na binanggit niya 2011?
2011 na-assign po ako noon sa Region 8.
So hindi ka pa mayor?
Hindi pa. Hindi pa po.
So yung aligasyon niya, totoo yun o hindi?
Hindi po. Kung mamarapatin po sana ng committee ito ay meron po akong maiksing statement na sasabihin para ma-address ng kabuuan ang
How many minutes?
mga 10 minutes po siguro, sir.
Sige. Pwede siguro 10 minutes. With the permission of Senator Pacquiao.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chairman.
The Honorable Chairman and members of this joint committee, magandang umaga po. I am retired Police Chief Superintendent Vicente Loot, now Mayor of the Municipality of Banbantayan, Province of Cebu. I retired from the PNP after 33 years of service with untarnished and unblemished record. I am recipient of more or less 83 service medals, commendations, and recognition for heroism, bravery, gallantry, and action during military, combat, and police operations, as well as administrative and leadership accomplishment. Most notably are the following: Gold Cross, Bronze Cross medals, 5 Distinguished Service Medals, and Medalya ng Kadakilaan given by PAOK TF in 2001 for leading as a case officer the successful neutralization of a drug cartel based in Cebu but operating in Metro Manila. I was also awarded Most Outstanding Senior Police Officer of the Year 2009, Most Outstanding Staff Officer of the Year in PRO 7 2008.
For the record, is the gentleman beside you your lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Kindly introduce yourself muna to the committee.
My name is Attorney Delon Urot, Your Honors. Delon, D-E-L-O-N, Urot, U-R-O-T.
Please proceed.
I was also twice adjudged as Best Provincial Director of the Year of PRO 7 in year 2005 and 2006, and twice chosen as Most Outstanding Regional Field Officer of the Year of the Narcotics Group for year 2000 and 2001. With reputation built in 33 years, ruined and credibility stained, my name was dragged into this drug controversy by an alleged validated intelligence report linking me as protector of Kerwin Espinosa. The report specifically stated, as detailed in the news, that I was the original handler of Kerwin Espinosa after recruiting him to recycle confiscated drugs when I was still the regional chief of Regional Anti-Narcotics Unit 7. For the record, I was the chief of the NAR group Rano 7 starting July 2000 until 2002, when I joined the Philippine Center for Transnational Crime based in Camp Crame. In his testimony, Kerwin stated that he started selling drugs in 2004. 2 years after I left Rano 7. It is very clear now that the intel report is not really that intelligent, basically untrue and most likely fabricated by people whose shoes I may have stepped upon and whose report has been capitalized by our political enemies and whose influence have reached the office of the President. The intel report further stated that I visited Kerwin Espinosa in detention cell sometime March 2015. Hence, no charges was filed against him. This allegation defies logic, as sometime June 2013, when my name was floated by Mayor Erap as his personal choice to become District Director of MPD, a barrage of fictitious complaints through text messages and letters reached the GPNP and President Noy, linking me to protecting Kerwin Espinosa. So why should I visit him when I am already being investigated for protecting him? A ranking police official visiting a high-profile drug personality in a secured government installation with guards, logbooks, and CCTVs will never escape public consciousness and scrutiny. Though the fictitious complaints were eventually dismissed, as a consequence, I did not get the MPD command position. Now, from what Kerwin has bared before this hallowed chamber, his statement has effectively established the following: that we don't know each other ever since. He has no personal transactions either by phone or in person. That no jail visit had ever happened in 2015. Number 3, that from the very beginning, the intel report that was fed to the President, which was made as the basis of my name being dragged, is in fact baseless and fabricated. That the alleged conduit between Kerwin and I, a certain Police Chief Inspector Leo Laraga, is not known to me. I don't remember knowing him personally, or was he ever assigned under me in my previous unit assignments. In his statement before this body, he also denied knowing me, as he denied having received payola intended for me. Si Kerwin at si Police Chief Inspector Laraga ay parehong hindi ko kilala. Kung nagsasabi sila ng totoo, klaro na may nakinabang ang binigyan ng pera matapos gamitin po ang pangalan ko. Clearly again, I was a victim here of name dropping or influence peddling, a practice done by subordinates which is very common in the PNP. Kung ikaw ay commander, lalo na ng isang operating unit, may kredibilidad at mabait at madaling maibenta yung pangalan mo at mapagkitaan ng mga influence peddlers. Kung basihan natin ang hierarchy of payola ni Kerwin na nagdepende sa ranggo ang laki ng ibinibigay weekly, klaro na may low-ranking police officer or non-commissioned officer na gumamit ng pangalan ko para lumaki ang take niya weekly. He is just careful enough to demand an amount that will not require Kerwin to double-check. Otherwise, had he asked for 1 million or 3 million monthly, Kerwin would have demanded for confirmation from me either by phone or in person. Hindi ko po alam kung ano ang assignment at kailan yon o anong taon nagigil si Police Superintendent Matira na hulihin si Kerwin, pero hindi niya nagawa dahil pinigilan daw namin ni Police Chief Superintendent Acer Dolina. Pero ang pagkakaalam ko po, pag alis ko po sa PRO 8 noong December 26, 2012, nakakulong na si Kerwin sa Ormoc City Jail. At nakulong si Kerwin sa bisa ng warrant of arrest na galing sa Cebu pagkatapos na ibigay ko sa mga operatives sa information na may warrant siya sa Cebu. This statement therefore is obviously perjurious and a cover-up of Police Superintendent Matira's inefficiency. Ito po ay isang palusot lamang para ipahid sa iba at mapagtakpan ang kanyang kakulangan sa pagganap niya sa kanyang trabaho. My assignment in the last 7 years of my career has been purely administrative in nature and culminated with my 2.5 years stint as director of the PNP Training Service until I retired in July 2015. My responsibility then was focused on ensuring competency of PNP personnel while performing their duties. I don't have the command and the mandate to discharge functions to conduct anti-criminality and anti-drug or anti-criminality campaign. Protection by a police officer to any criminals require position and command and control over the unit or personnel involved in such anti-criminality operations. In my case, I have none of the above. Logically, I cannot offer what I don't have. I only have the rank, the credibility, and the amiable and approachable personality that scalawags and unscrupulous people can use to peddle for their own vested interest. Your Honors, the past 5 months has been harrowing and painful to me and my family after having been subjected to trial by publicity. If you please allow me to also address the statements that tag my person as someone involved in drug trade wherever I was be assigned, particularly in regions 1, 2, 3, and 4. With all due respect, I could not be in any way involved in illicit operations in those regions since I was never assigned to such areas of jurisdiction in any period of time, except in a short stint of 6 months right after graduation in the academy from June 1982 to December 1982. From my graduation in 1982, I was never given any assignment or position that I could use or take advantage to cuddle or protect drug operations until my assignment with the Regional Anti-Narcotics Unit 7 based in Cebu City in 2000 to July 2002. Second, I also wish to address the allegations of unlawfully acquired assets by my family. With all honesty, Your Honors, much of what I have now are not mine in the first place. When I married my wife in 1991, she was already a millionaire, so to speak, while I had practically nothing. By operation of law, her properties, which she acquired during her single days before our marriage, became part of the absolute community, a property regime that practically makes her property mine too. My only investment in the said union is my family name that I gave her. Pertinent government records support this claim. With industry and perseverance, my wife was able to grow her net worth, acquire new assets, and expand her business that when she joined politics as vice mayor in 1992, 1 year after our marriage, she already has a declared SALN net worth of more than 82 million, all of which are her parapernal properties. While I diligently served the government as a cop, she went her way up through honest conduct of entrepreneurship. From the start, we have been forthright in jointly declaring with our statement of assets and liabilities, cognizant that in the future, ill-willed personalities would assail the legality of our acquisitions. True enough, there have been questions in the past instigated by my wife's political enemies regarding the legitimacy of our community property. Lifestyle check has been done by the NBI, but the same were dismissed by no less than the Office of the Ombudsman in a joint resolution dated 22 May 2014, a copy of which, to include other pertinent documents related to all her paraphernalia in our community properties, has been submitted to the investigating body directed by the ILG to conduct lifestyle investigation on us. Third, the report that I had been storing tons of cash at my basement is a tall tale and untrue. Not even the richest man on earth will do this. Our house, to include those units for rent at Mandaue City and Dalbantayan, have no basements. Certainly, it is just figment of imagination floated by organized social media trollers and buzzers of our political enemies using fake accounts. Unfortunately, it reached the office of the President. As a politician, our house is open to our supporters and even to members of the media who frequently visit us. And lastly, the much publicized Isla de Gato with malicious insinuation that it has Shabu Laboratory because all of its caves and tunnel is not ours. The solid rock 2,000 square meter more or less island is owned by the government, was in fact declared by the municipal government as Fish Sanctuary even before my wife became the vice mayor in 1992. It was later declared as marine protected area because it is a natural habitat to endangered species and sea snakes and other marine species. Fishing is not allowed within the 1 kilometer radius from the island, but it is open for scuba diving for a few at 150 per diver.
Baba, Vic.
One paragraph na lang,
1
sir.
minute?
One paragraph, yes, sir.
Yung bilisan mo.
The island indeed has caves and funnels, but they are all underwater and actually home to sleeping sharks and variety of marine species. I am advertising our place, sir.
Pwede mo nang i-submit na lang. Anyway,
Yes, sir.
yung gist nung statement mo, pumasok na naman nasabi mo na.
Yes, sir. Last paragraph, sir, if I
Okay,
may.
sige.
Without a doubt, sir, issues were invented and eventually magnified simply because my wife is rich even before we met, became an independent politician, and later became the only politician opposition in the 4th District of Cebu who showed loyalty to Congressman Benhur Salimbangon and the then Governor Gwen Garcia and go wherever they go and bite the bullet for them. Without a doubt, the severe allegations hurled against me have taken a toll on my family, on the business credibility that my wife has established with banks for 3 decades now, on my reputation. My explanation today cannot guarantee my vindication, for damage has already been done, but somehow the opportunity given me by this honorable committee will provide me with a starting ground from where I can slowly start picking up the pieces. To this, I offer my heartfelt thanks and appreciation to this Senate committee. God bless you always. Thank you.
Before I give the floor again to Senator Pacquiao, I'd like to acknowledge the presence of the co-chair of the Joint Committee and the chairman of the Justice and Human Rights Committee, Senator Gordon, and also our Senate President pro tempore, Senator Franklin Drilon. Welcome, sirs. Senator Pacquiao.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So you are denying of Kerwin's accusation.
Yes, Your Honor.
Kaninong nakapangalan o kanino nakapangalan sa inyong dalawa, sa asawa mo o sa iyo, yung title ng property doon sa Sabungan sa Cebu? Kanino, sa iyo o sa asawa mo?
Sa kanya po, sa pagkadalaga po niya na pangalan.
Nakapangalan yung property?
Yes, Your Honor.
Nandun sa title yan, nakapangalan doon sa asawa mo?
Yes, that was after she acquired it noong 1989.
Yung sa Sabungan, yung building, kanino nakapangalan sa iyo o sa asawa mo?
Sa asawa ko pa rin po.
Sa asawa mo?
Yes, declared in the name of the declarant.
So I just want to clarify, Mayor, para malinawan yung taong bayan doon sa mga, kasi marami rin ako naririnig about your name, na General Luot, sabi nila, pero ngayon ko lang na itanong to sa'yo. Then mamaya may mga katanungan pa ako.
Yo, what's up mga tropa peeps? So, napanood niyo naman po yung ating mga video dyan na nakalap, at yung unang-unang video, nabanggit po dyan ni Digong, inamin niya na siya ang naggurgur dito kay General Luot. Imagine niyo po yun. Presidente natin that time, inamin niya yan. Ito po yung isa sa mga 5 iniugnay na mga generals ni Digong sa illegal na droga. Ito pa lang si General Luot. Actually, siya yung pinakamayaman dun sa 5. Talagang mayaman po may pera po talaga. Pati yung asawa mayaman. Hindi natin malaman kung ano ang dahilan ni Digong at gigil na gigil siya dito sa mga tao na ito. Dito sa ilang mga general na ito. Actually, hindi nga natin alam kung buhay pa tong si Garbo, si Diaz, si Pagdilaw o itong si Tinio. Kasi 5 po sila na mga pinangalanan ni Digong. Grabe po yung ginawa ni Digong noong panahon ng kanyang panunungkulan. Talagang hindi po makatao. Sana maisama to sa Quadcom Diba? Kasi nabanggit naman ito ni Kerwin Espinosa doon sa Quadcom na ito nga daw pong si General Luot ang isa sa mga pinapasdiin ni Bato de la Rosa na isama daw po sa mga bibintangan ni Kerwin o i-involve ni Kerwin, i-implicate sa kanyang negosyo o sa kanyang transaksyon dito sa illegal na droga. Inamin naman ni Kerwin Espinosa yan na hindi po totoo yan. Nautusan lang siya. Pero kita niyo po kung ano ang nangyari kay General Loot. Alam niyo, habang ini-edit ko, habang nagre-research ako ng mga video ni General Loot, makikita mo naman dun sa tao kung kung mabuti o hindi eh. Diba? Makikita mo naman eh. Siyempre, hindi ko naman kilala si General Loot ng personal. Pero, yung isuko niya yung kanyang sarili doon. Kaya PNP chief noon na si Bato de la Rosa. Tapos willing pa siyang magpa-imbestiga. 'Di ba? Yan bukas kamay, bukas kalooban na sinusuko niya ang kanyang sarili para maimbestigahan ng tama at saka ipakita niya ang kanyang pagiging inosente sa mga ibinibintang sa kanya ni Digong. Doon pa lang eh. Diba? Kasi kung ito po ay guilty, dapat ito, umalis na to ng bansa. Ang dami nitong pera, mayaman talaga tong si Loot. Di sana, umiskapo na lang to. Umalis na lang ng bansa natin. Kayang-kaya nitong mabuhay sa ibang bansa. Diba? Yan ang mangyayari din sana kay Jed Mabilog kung hindi ito nagpuntang Amerika. Yan ang mangyayari dyan. Kasi nga po, etong si General Loot, Rolando Espinosa, yung iba pang mga nabanggit doon po sa testimonya ni Kerwin at doon sa mga nasa drug list na inilabas ni Digong. Di ba yung iba dyan, mga nagurgur. Baka kaya po, ganoon. Kaya po ganoon na etong si Mayor Loot o General Loot, baka po katulad din kay Mayor Halili ng Tanawan, Batangas na napakalaki ng reward. Napakalaki po ng reward na nakapatong sa kanila. Kaya po ganoon ang nangyari. Kaya sila ginurgur ng mga operatiba ng EJK. Sana mabuksan din po itong kaso ni General Loot kasi unsolved case din po ito eh. Hindi po ito tinigilan talaga. Ilang beses pong pinagbantaan ng kanyang buhay. Doon sa may Malapascua, pababa sila ng bangka. Binira sila doon. Buti nakaligtas siya at ang kanyang pamilya. Ilang beses po na nangyari yan sa kanya. Ngayon po, itong si General Vicente Loot ay kakandidato pong mayor ng Daan Bantayan muli. Pagkatapos po na ang kanyang anak ay kakandidato naman na congressman. Yung kanyang stepson. Ngayon po, alam nyo, napakaswerte talaga lang nitong si Loot dahil nga po, hindi siya nagurgur katulad nitong sila Mayor Halili at nitong sila Mayor Rolando Espinosa. Diba? Yan ang kumbaga swerte talaga ni Mayor Loot at mabuti na lamang yung mga pagtatangka sa kanya ay hindi pa niya oras. Diba? Dito, diba? Sana makita to ng Quadcom. Sana maimbestigahan to ng Quadcom. Kasi alam niyo po, kahit nabuhay si Mayor Loot, diba, hindi may kakaila na inamin ni Digong o national TV at siya'y nagtatalumpati sa isang event, yung sinabi niya na yun na siya ang nagpapagurgur dito sa tao na ito. Diba po? Talaga, nakakadismaya po talaga na yung dating tinatawag ko pa na Tatay Digong ay ito pala yung tao na napaka nuknukan ng kasamaan ang ginagawa po sa mga tao na kumukontra sa kanya o kinakalaban siya o kinabubwisitan niya o hindi sumusuporta sa kanya. Diba? Hindi tama yun. Hindi maganda yun. Kasi syempre, bilang presidente, lahat ng Pilipino, anak mo yan, di ba? Lahat ng Pilipino, yan ay iyong dapat na protektahan. Pero dito sa issue nitong si General Loot, di ba? Ibang klase ang kanyang ginawa dito, no? Buti na lang po talaga at hindi pa po oras ni General Loot nung pinagtangkaan ng kanyang buhay. 'Di ba? Paano kung na tuluyan, 'di ba? Nagurgur si General Loot. Ano ang mangyayari? Di ano na lang to, unsolved case na lang ito. 'Di ba po? Kaya kawawa talaga yung mga Pilipino, mga tao na naging kumbaga biktima dito po sa reward system sa EJK ng dating administrasyon ni Digong. Sana nga umattend siya ngayon ng Quadcom hearing ngayong araw na ito. Sana talaga ay kumbaga makakuha siya ng tapang, yung dating tapang niya, 'di ba? Sana maipakita niya yung tapang niya noon. Kasi ngayon ang Digong na nakikita natin parang nagtatago na sa sa tapang ng iba. 'Di ba? Dati napakatapang niyan, talagang grabe ang niyan, grabe ang kanyang mga sinasabi laban sa mga tao, 'di ba? Tapos ngayon iimbestigahan ng Quadcom, pinapatawag ng Quadcom. 'Di ba? Sinamo na siya Pinatawag na siya Kapag hindi siya pumunta diyan, 'di ba? Siya ay isang na lang, citizen na lang. 'Di ba? Kapag siya hindi pumunta, naku po, delikado. 'Di ba? Baka masabwi na siya. Katulad ng ginawa sa ibang mga pinapatawag diyan, katulad kay Harry Roque. Diba, isa pa pong aabangan natin dyan, itong si Muking, kung haharap po ito sa Quadcom kasi pinapatawag na rin po ito dahil nabanggit nga po ni Rowena Garma ang pangalan nito. Diba, dyan po sa Quadcom, nabanggit kung ito daw po ang nagbibigay ng reward money, nag-aabot ng pera. Ay nako, dapat po talaga, sana po talaga may makuha pong hustisya dito sa ginagawa po ng Quadcom dahil walang ibang mag-iimbestiga ng ganito Sino ang mag-iimbestiga? Napolcom? Kung hindi pa na-booking itong si Leonardo, bata ni Digong, Napolcom. Kaya pala walang mga nakukulong na mga pulis, walang mga napaparusahan. Lahat ng mga kaso noon, ng mga nangyayaring paggurgur sa EJK. Na-quit yung ibang mga kaso. Kaya pala hindi, paano nga ba naman di ma-acquit? Ibre mo, tauhan ni Digong yung nasa Napolcom. Yeah po. So, abangan po natin ang Quadcom hearing. Ako po'y naka-live dyan mamaya sa Quadcom hearing. Sana po masamahan nyo ako at makapag-reaction po tayo dyan sa mga nangyayari sa Quadcom hearing. Salamat po.